Hi, my name is Kiana Sakamoto, and I am a 20-something from LA. I recently decided to leave everything behind and start a new life in Paris. This is my September vlog, recapping everything that I went through during my first move abroad. So overall, I spent about 9 months on my preparations to move abroad. Everything from researching the school that I wanted to go to, where I wanted to live, everything just took a bunch of time, and it became like literally a part-time job just preparing to move abroad. I quit my job. I left literally everything behind and just tried to save as much money as possible to make this happen for myself. So I feel really lucky and fortunate that my mom was willing and able to come with me to help me move. She surprised me with upgrading my flight to business class, and I literally felt like I had imposter syndrome. Like, the amenities were so cute, the extra leg room, even the menu. Oh my gosh, I feel like once you fly business class you can never go back, because look at this incredible menu. When people ask me why I decided to move abroad, I basically had no singular answer. I think it's a combination of really seeking out personal growth, adventure. I'd never lived anywhere else my whole life, and so living abroad was always something that I really wanted to do for myself. And so I basically saw it as an opportunity to branch out, live a whole new life, start from scratch. And the way I saw it is that it was basically now or never, because there was nothing tying me back home other than, of course, friends and family that I miss a bunch. But I just realized that if I don't do it now, I might never do it. So I definitely hardly slept on the plane, but I really tried, because I knew that we had a long day ahead of us, with just having to get my stuff situated. I brought, of course, my own little toiletries, which helped me feel a little bit back to life by the next morning. And it was a beautiful day. I got even like a little emotional landing in Paris. And my mom and I, of course, we landed safely, and we're just really excited to finally get going. This is the outfit that I changed into because I knew it was going to be really hot. And here is the stairwell to the Airbnb that my mom and I were staying in for the first few days. So literally the day before I moved out to Paris, my original landlord contacted me and said that my apartment had bedbugs. So in the meantime, I stayed with my mom in her Airbnb, and luckily there is a second room with a pull-out bed that I could sleep on. So it actually worked out really nicely, because I had my own space, somewhere to sleep, because I literally don't know where I would have been if she didn't have that room. And the apartment's really beautiful. It's newly renovated, clearly very well cared for, very clean, very spacious. So it was just really fortunate to have this space while I figured out my apartment situation for the week. So once we got settled in the Airbnb, I met up with my friend Alexian, who has been so kind enough to show us around Paris, while my mom and I, of course, are playing tourist. And Alexian and I originally met on Instagram, and I just feel so lucky that we became friends. And she has been just incredibly helpful for everything from researching nice places to stay, things to do in Paris, and I just feel so lucky to have her as a friend. And we, of course, had our first meal in Paris together, and it was such a beautiful first day. So the next day I decided to go to the school, because I had a million and one administrational issues when it came to navigating the French school system. So I tried to get some things sorted out while I was there. Then we went to Monoprix to get some last minute things for my apartment. Okay, so it is Tuesday. We did a lot yesterday. We arrived in Paris, my mom and I, and there was a lot of things to do. We just hauled all my luggage up to the Airbnb, which is actually really nice. And as it turns out, my apartment has bedbugs, so I don't think I'll be able to move in now until Sunday. And as another fun twist to this adventure, my school already started. And it's been a whole thing. So I went to the school, we tried to get it sorted out. Basically, I'm not gonna start school until Monday because I still have to move in and I wanna show my mom around. So a lot of hiccups along the way already. So yesterday I feel like it was really fun. We walked around by the opera and the Louvre and we saw a lot of amazing things. And then today things got very real. Again, with my apartment not being move-in ready and a lot of administrative issues with my school. So I went to my school. It's beautiful. I really like it. But as of now, I just wanted to give an update for the current situation. So I'm living in this spare room. It's very nice, actually, but I'm living out of all my luggage and suitcase. There's a really nice little fireplace here and a big window over here. And it rained last night and it was really nice. So the Airbnb has been a godsend. It's been really nice to just stay here. And it is very close to my apartment once I move in, so it's good. But yeah, a lot of hiccups and things like that today, even though I tried so hard to be as prepared as possible. I connected with some other students in my program at school, so I'll be able to have access to the school schedule next week. And I have a banking appointment as well to get a rib because I don't have that either. And I couldn't do it before I got here. So still a lot to do, and I can't wait to just have all these administrative things done so I can just enjoy and be a student and get a routine and like live a daily life here in Paris. So in the meantime of trying to get my school sorted out and my housing, my mom and I went to the Louvre because of course you have to go to the Louvre if you're in Paris, and especially for my mom because she's never been before. So I definitely wanted to take her to see the Mona Lisa, and we made a beeline so that she could take her selfie in front of the Mona Lisa. But in the meantime, of course, everything is beautiful in the Louvre. Just so much art everywhere, and it's really easy to get lost in there, of course. So after taking the selfie as planned in front of the Mona Lisa, we ended up walking around a little bit more, and I was just really trying to not stress out too much about everything and try to enjoy some sightseeing in Paris. Okay, so it is Thursday, and yesterday I had a call with my landlord, and basically at this point she's pushing me to break the lease and walk away from the apartment because she's saying that instead of 2 to 3 days, it could take 15 days or more to get rid of the bed bugs. And at first I was just going along with everything. I don't know how long it can take to get rid of bed bugs, and it seemed like she was just relaying back all the information that she was getting back from the fumigators, and so I just kind of like had to trust that she was telling the truth. But it wasn't until I emailed someone else, like this girl named Zoe, who is part of Globe & Co., which is a third-party student services group that my school partners with, to basically seek out help. And she was like, no, this whole situation sounds really sketchy and basically you're being screwed over. And I was like, cool, so what do I do? So basically yesterday I was just like so frustrated with how everything has been panning out between my school already starting and my housing literally falling apart by the hour, that I just like found myself literally crying over a plate of pasta
in the Louvre because I just had it. This has been like months and months, like my whole year has been centered around planning my housing, planning my school, being secure and being prepared. And now my school is telling me that it already started, that basically it's no excuse to not have access to the portal. Like, you still are supposed to show up for class, but it's like, how am I supposed to know what classes to show up for if I don't have access to the portal? And that whole thing is also an issue for a lot of other students as well. So it's a whole, that is definitely not just unique to me. But the housing thing, I definitely thought that because I booked it through the student platform that I would be guaranteed housing regardless. And I mean, the conditions of what that housing would be like, I had no idea because it's not clear. Like, you book your housing in hopes that it's gonna work out, and supposedly these are all verified ads. So I just don't understand why my landlord is playing games at this point. And I have like over 100 pounds worth of luggage. I can't just like hop around. So at this point, my backup is that the owner of our Airbnb is actually staying in another apartment that he's planning on renting it to students, and he offered me one of those rooms. The catch is that currently he's living with cats, and I love cats, but I'm allergic. And if I decide to stay there or even just live there temporarily, it would mean that I'm not living alone like I had just so pressingly planned for. Like, I don't mind living with roommates in theory. I've lived with roommates before, but the idea of living with strangers in a foreign country, never having met them before, is just really, really scary for me. I'm sure actually that the room that he's potentially going to rent to me is very nice. This apartment is really nice. So if it's anything like this apartment, I'm sure it's going to be a good space. And if he's my landlord, he's been great. So those are all really good silver linings to the potential opportunity of boarding with him. But I'm just am so upset that it's come to this. And I had all these plans with my mom to do all these excursions and see Paris and everything. And now I'm just sitting in my room in the Airbnb, and I have to look at housing. And even when I already looked at student parts available listings, there are not. Everything's booked for next year. So I just don't really know what to do at this point. And I'm just still waiting to hear back from student part to see if there's anything that they can do to guarantee my housing. I'm going to spend the whole day probably on this and figuring out my next steps. I'm reviewing for the Airbnb caretaker's other apartment tomorrow. Also, there's construction outside, so I woke up to literally jackhammering in the courtyard. So it's all kinds of great. So it's Thursday afternoon. I have finally heard back from my school that I can do the payments for the rest of the tuition and installments, and I'm trying to look for a new apartment. There's just not a lot of options right now, so I'm still thinking that the best option is to stay with my landlord for the month, if anything, to buy myself more time, and if I like it, then maybe stay there. Hopefully that the other roommates would just be nice and good to live with, but that's currently where I'm at. I'm just sitting on the couch while it's beautiful outside in Paris, and my mom went out to the mall to shop, of course, because honestly I don't think that there's that much that she can do to help, so it's kind of just all on me to try to get it figured out for now.
So after I did some house hunting for the day, my mom and I got sushi, and I'm just so happy to be eating rice, even though it hasn't been that long without rice. And of course, we had to pick up a beautiful pastry at a boulangerie nearby. I did some journaling and just really tried to hold on to hope that everything would be okay. Okay, so we had a meeting with the Airbnb landlord, and he showed me the room. It looks incredible, looks really good. I did have a little bit of allergic reaction to the kittens, but it's fine. I'd take that over being homeless any day. And we're just working out the agreements to finalize the lease and just like the rental terms overall. So far it's looking good, and we made it to the Eiffel Tower. So things are looking up. It was just a really rough first week in Paris. Honestly, I feel like everything that could go wrong went wrong this week. So we really needed a win at this point. So, of course, because my mom is visiting, we had to go to the Eiffel Tower. We went inside, took some pictures. I think we only went up to the second floor. We didn't end up going to the very top. But the weather was absolutely beautiful. It was like so clear, so sunny, just incredible to see the city from such a high up view. And I just felt really happy in that moment. Like, even though everything was just absolutely chaotic, the view from the Eiffel Tower just somehow made everything feel a little bit better and put things into perspective, literally. So I'm so glad that we were able to do that and just spend some time outside and trying not to stress about literally everything happening at any given moment. The next day we went to Pompidou, the Contemporary Art Museum. I've actually been here before, but it's been a few years since I've been here. And so it was really exciting to explore the museum, see what was new, see some familiar pieces as well. And I absolutely love this museum. It's really massive and there's so much to see. And personally, I really do like contemporary art a lot, even though for some people it might seem a little weird or too conceptual, but I think contemporary art is just such a joy and just overall really thought-provoking, whether it be in a way that's almost vulgar or a way that makes you question or just makes you think and feel. I think that's what conceptual art is to me, and so I really had a nice time at the museum. So I'm really thrilled. We found a little Japanese market and I got rice, some snacks, some sauce, some seaweed. Oh, I'm so happy. The taste of home. It's only been a few days, but I already miss them so much. So I'm just so happy that we found a little Japanese market. And I mean, it's not too far, so I have to take the metro. I can't walk, but at least I know where I can find one and find rice. So, of course, we also had to go to La Samaritan. My mom had never been here before. Again, it was her first time in Paris, so this is someplace that I really, really wanted to go. I heard it's newly renovated, newly open, so of course neither of us have been before, but it's an incredible department store, and we just had a lot of fun just walking around looking at all the incredible displays, and of course just enjoying all the beautiful architecture. So before heading out to Versailles, I picked up a sandwich and we ended up, of course, just eating it on the train, which didn't take too long. I think it was about an hour to get to Versailles, and it was super beautiful. Another beautiful day in Paris. I'm telling you, we got so lucky with this weather, and it was just incredible to see Versailles in person. It's absolutely stunning. It looks like nothing I've ever seen before. And I felt like a real life princess, like Bridgerton. I'm not even sure that's the right era for Bridgerton, but I felt like I was in Bridgerton. After exploring all the many halls inside, we ended up, of course, walking outside, going through all the gardens. It was quite warm and hot to be doing this, but I mean, we had to see as much as possible while we were there, and the gardens just felt endless. There were so many fountains. It was going to take, I think, 2 hours to see everything, so we didn't have enough time to go to every single fountain, but we definitely tried our best to see as much as possible while we were there.
Pretty.
Hi, Kiana.
So, of course, I am my mother's daughter, and we had to go shopping in Paris. We went to the Chanel store first, and don't get too excited, but I ended up just getting some Chanel makeup. I don't have the money to get a Chanel bag anytime soon. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say anytime soon, but it's definitely in my future, but not today. So I got some makeup. I got a lip tint and a cream eyeshadow that I feel like I can wear any day, all the days, but of course I haven't opened it yet because I'm waiting for a special occasion. So for lunch, we went to this really cute Japanese restaurant. I believe it's called Kintaro. It was so good, and I got these little mochis that were so delicious. Okay, so when I'm saying that it was hot in Paris when I first got here, I'm really meaning that it was hot. Like, I was sweating constantly through the metro, walking around, and oh my gosh, it was so hot at the time. One of the most incredible opportunities and just serendipitous moments that I had during my first week in Paris was visiting my friend Raphaël Delacroix at his studio in Paris. We met on Instagram originally, and we had been corresponding for years actually about fashion and just everything and anything. We just became friends on the internet, as crazy as that sounds. And of course, when I told him that I was moving to Paris, he invited me to come to his studio to try on some clothes. And at the time, I thought it would just be trying on a few looks. And of course, I tried on tons of his incredible creations. It was like one outfit after the other. And again, it was really hot in the studio, so I'm like sweating through everything. But I'm just like literally on cloud nine, trying on all his amazing designs that I really don't mind sweating through everything. By the way, he uses dead stock fabric from luxury houses, so all the fabric, everything from the finishings to the little details are really elevated and high quality. And it's sustainable because he's using fabric that would have been discarded by other designers or luxury fashion houses. So it's really incredible everything that he's been able to make with his creations and designs.
So it's Tuesday afternoon. My mom just left for the airport, and actually it wasn't really that emotional because I reassured her that I'll see her again in 3.5, 4 months anyways. And I think by then, with all this stuff, like this still the admin stuff I have to do on my end, that I would have just settled in by 3.5, 4 months. So it's gonna go by really fast. But I'm finally alone in my new room. I'm staying in my, the landlord of our Airbnb, or the owner of our Airbnb is my new landlord. And so far it's worked out really well because this place is only 2 minutes away from the Airbnb that we're staying in. And I'm currently staying in the biggest room in the apartment. So I'm paying a little bit more obviously in rent. But I think overall it will end up being about the same of what I was planning to pay for my first apartment, the one that I initially booked. And so I'm just eating lunch. I have a sandwich. I'm wearing my Raphaël Delacroix shirt that I got yesterday from visiting the studio space, which was such a dream come true. Like, I feel like it's only been 1 week that I've been in Paris, so it's been the lowest of lows and the highest of highs, and I really can't take any more lows. The lows were really low and scary. Again, I had planned, put in 9 months, maybe more, into planning my school and housing, and everything just completely fell apart so fast. It was just not good. And just really terrifying as well because I'm in a foreign country and it was hard enough to navigate things when I was back in the States, and it's even harder now because now everything is for sure in French, and so it's really difficult. But I just wanted to do a quick tour, like sweep of my apartment before I unpack, so a little just before and after video. So here we have one of the beautiful windows to the balcony. It actually overlooks the corner of the street over there, and there's all these really nice plants. Here's one of the cats. I don't know the name of this one, but apparently she wanted to come hang out with me. I think this might be the mother of the kittens. I have a desk. I didn't clean or do anything yet. I literally just threw my stuff inside. Here's another window. I love the balcony. I love being able to look outside. I love the natural light. In many ways, this is an apartment that I always pictured and always dreamed about living in for my first Parisian apartment. And so it's really funny how life works out that way, where I have the balcony. My landlord moved the table and chair, but he said that he'll move it back later in the month or maybe next month. And in either way, I feel like I don't have a lot of time to just sit outside. Oh, and the cat loves me. Hi. So here's my suitcase. There's gonna be some storage down here. This is all my landlord's decor. This is a show cat. So it's an award-winning cat. I don't know much about cats exactly, but I definitely know that this is a very expensive cat, a very expensive breed. So here's all my stuff, but I have a beautiful fireplace and mirror that's so grand, so beautiful, and you can see the chandelier right here in the back. I guess the wiring is no good, it doesn't work right now, so I need, my landlord's going to fix the wiring for me at some point. But as of now, I just have the little lamp right there, which is fine. And I'm gonna be in school for like most of the day anyway, so I don't think I really need it. Just more suitcase and luggage and things. The door that leads to the hallway for the other rooms. And then it's messy, but my bookshelf that, again, I haven't touched anything. I just threw everything into the room. And then this couch that I was sitting on that converts to a bed. And I'm not sure if it's gonna stay here. My landlord is actually going to take it and move it somewhere else because he's going to have people stay and sleep on it. So it's just here for now, but for now I really like it because then I can sit here and look outside. Here's my clothing rack. So I'm gonna put as much clothes on this as I can. I just bought hangers today, I'm on a pre. And then here's my bed. And the bed is really nice because for one, it's like a bed and not a couch, like a convertible couch like this one. And even then, these are still like really nice because a lot of apartments and beds can just be like pull out couches, like convertible couches. And so this is really nice because not only does it lay flat like a proper bed, but it also has some storage underneath. So once I get more settled in, I will, excuse me, I will put my luggage in here. Ooh. I probably wasn't supposed to slam that, but anyways, once I get more settled in, I'll put my luggage under the mattress. But yeah, this is my new room. It's a little over 20 square meters, which is the size of the entire apartment that I was planning on rent for my old landlord. So it's way big by Paris standards. Honestly, I feel like it's way big. It's way big by Paris standards, so I just got really, really lucky. But the space is beautiful. My landlord does a really good job with the interior design and decorating, and it's newly renovated. And yeah, here's the cat again. So later today I have my appointment with a French bank so I can get my rib, which is like essential for life here in France, and you can't do it abroad. I really tried to look into the banking thing abroad and there was just no way. So now that I have a French phone number, I have an address, it's all good. I will be living here. And so the cat wants to talk. Hello. Hello, cat. So I have my banking appointment, which will hopefully make the transition into living here a lot easier because I still need to do health insurance, register for school completely, pay the first installment for school. Also, I need to get utilities because eventually my landlord is going to move out, and so I need to get my own utilities. And then I also need to apply for housing aid. So the admin stuff has been endless, and it is driving me crazy at this point, but now I feel a little bit better because I have my own space. I can spread out, I can plan my day a little bit better. and my friend Alexian will come meet me later as well, I think today, so that'll be really nice. But this apartment is so perfect. Like, it's so perfect. It's everything that I envisioned that my first apartment would be like and more, which is crazy considering the process and the unforeseen circumstances of which it took to get me here. But this is the before. The before I get my life together and clean it up and make it nice and in a home. So I'm just really excited. It feels still very surreal, but I'm really excited for this part of my journey where I can settle in, I can nest, and I'm nesting in such a beautiful space. So I feel really lucky and really grateful, and fingers crossed, no more hiccups. I really can't take it. It's just, oh my goodness. Okay, so I just did a practice run route to my school doing the metro on my own. It wasn't too bad. The time it takes is really only a half an hour, but the walking between does take a long time, and I imagine in rush hour it's like a hot mess. So I'm gonna try to give myself like an hour to get to school for the first day tomorrow. And then when I got back, I did one run to Monoprix, which is kind of like Target, to get hangers. And I still ended up spending like so much money, because then you see all these things that you think that you need, just like Target. And so now I'm coming back for my second Monoprix run. I have toilet paper, paper towels, pillow, some dividers, a little like wicker basket that I'm gonna use as my trash can in my room. And it was still like $100 again to buy all this like really simple basic stuff in my room that I can pack. So it definitely is starting to add up. The move in general, just overall getting the things that would make the space organized and homey. Yeah, it adds up. And it helps that there is something like a Target Monoprix here, but also it's so convenient that you end up buying things that you didn't anticipate. Also, the Monoprix has like groceries, so I got pasta sauce, and beef to make my first meal in Paris. I'm just gonna have like a simple pasta for dinner, and I'm just so excited to cook in my new apartment. So it's 11 and we started discussing the lease at like 7:30, 8. And I didn't realize that there was so much to fill out and things like that for the lease, but it's done. And we celebrated with some wine, which is actually very good because usually I have really bad Asian glow. And so I'm thrilled to have it done. And I just need to send security deposit and first month's rent to my landlord, and it's good. But I didn't really have any time to unpack, so everything is in my room for the time being, just thrown around, but it's good. The lease is signed. I just still need Versailles to come through, but hopefully everything will be good, and I'm happy here. My landlord is happy with me for the month that he's here, and everything will be good. And it was really nice because I got to meet Alexian and her sister, and her mom came as well to translate. So it was a long process, but a good experience, and I'm just so happy that it's over. Yay! First apartment in Paris. Oh, I'm so tired. I need to make dinner too tonight, but it's done.
So I just completed my first day of classes today. I successfully made it to Law Defense without any trouble using the metro and with my train line change, metro line change. It was okay. And was able to find my classroom. And yeah, so it all went really, really well. It's a long day though, from 9 to 5 of class. And this week's module is perfumes and cosmetics. So it was literally like over 6 hours more of learning about perfumes, origins of perfumes, smelling all these different essences, which was really interesting actually, but I could hardly keep my eyes open because I was up so late last night signing the lease and trying to set up my bed. So now I'm on my way to Monoprix to get a pot and a pan to cook with because my landlord literally has an empty kitchen. Like, it's fully functioning, but he doesn't have anything to cook with. When he says he doesn't cook, he really means it. Like, there's nothing. So I'm going to get my own pot, my own pan, maybe a plate or two, because at this point I feel like he literally doesn't have anything to eat, to cook, or to eat your own food with. Or maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough in the cupboards, I don't know. But anyways, it's a good first day of school, and I have friends. It's great. I made friends with 2 Italian girls and 1 girl from Iran. And of course, the international students were going to sit together and help each other out. So it was really, really great. So off to a good start with classes. And by the way, today is Wednesday. So far so good.
It's Saturday afternoon and it's my first weekend alone in Paris. So I'm finally taking the time to set up my room. As you can see, it's still kind of a mess back there and I need to go through all my clothes, figure out where I'm gonna put everything, and try to find a home for everything that I brought. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, and I'm just so excited to nest and set up my new room. So it's Saturday night, my first weekend alone in Paris, and I spent again most of the day just setting up a room and taking stock of the things that I wanted to get later today at IKEA. And it was so nice because I went with my friend Alexian and her friend Adriana, and they were so kind enough to come with me to IKEA because even though I've been to IKEA before, again, all the signs and everything is in French, and I think I could figure it out, but it would have taken me a little bit longer. And because I can only buy what I could carry, I only spent like $30 at IKEA, and usually I feel like I'd go crazy and buy everything. And in the end, I only bought like 2 cubbies for my bookshelf, some of the Swedish
food. I love the like fried onions and the lingonberry concentrate. And then I got some nice wood hangers because I really don't like the plastic ones that I got at Monoprix. But I can use this for like drying things, so it still won't be a waste. And then we went to H&M Home, and they had some incredible things actually. And I got some white sheets, or a white duvet cover, because I really don't like the floral one that I have, even though it is very comfortable. And a blanket, so it can be cozy. And, oh, a mug. I got a mug, and I love my new mug. And with the mug, I got like the mini saucer that I can use as a trinket tray for my jewelry and things, so it's perfect. And actually, because I can only buy what I could carry, I ended up not actually spending that much money, because I probably would have if I had a car, so works out. Now that I'm in the building, cubbies, takeout food, blanket, sheets from H&M Home, and then behind there, my hangers and things from IKEA. And I'm carrying all of this because I didn't want to take multiple trips. So, successful Saturday in Paris, and I can't wait to put everything down and finish setting up my room tonight. So I think a pretty successful first weekend, productive, social, very good, I think. So on the weekend, I decided to venture out and find this little internet cafe. I found this really cute one located by the canal. I met up with a friend. We had carrot cake, and I of course had a matcha, and it was really lovely. I'll definitely come back here. The cafe is like a house on the inside that they basically turned into a cafe, so it's a really cool concept, and the interior design is a little kooky and weird, but really cool and just very cozy as well. So I literally stepped out for 2 seconds to run errands and try to go to the bank, and it just started downpouring out of nowhere. It's like, not just like a little rain, like just a ton of rain. So I had to like sprint back to my apartment, get my umbrella, because that's not cool. Oh my god. Rookie mistake. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear me at all or not, but I'm sitting in the laundromat doing laundry because my apartment currently doesn't have a laundry machine, and luckily my landlord showed me how to use machines because, as you can see, all the signs are in French. Still can't read French or understand French very well. But it is pretty simple to use machines and not very difficult at all. Everything is in kilograms, so I don't have any idea as to how many kilograms my laundry is. So it was just a fun guess. So far so good. For one weekend, I went with some friends and we explored the Caring Group open house for Balenciaga. It was incredible. I realized I didn't take that much video, but I definitely should have. And then after, we went to Garden of Luxembourg and we had some bagels. It was really sunny, beautiful, but cold. I actually should have really worn a jacket, but it was so sunny outside, I really got misled by seeing all the sun. And we walked around, explored Paris, and I was just really, really happy to be with friends and explore the city together. And the friends that I've made so far are so nice. The girls all speak French, but they also speak English pretty well. So I'm not alone, and I feel so, so lucky that Alexian invited me into her friend group, and just everyone's been so nice. So I feel really, really, really lucky. Plus 82 is a Korean cafe. It's super, super tiny, but of course very cozy, and it's my friend Marion's favorite, so I'm so glad that she took me here. So the line for La Felicitia was so crazy long, but I'm so glad we were able to go inside. The pizza was amazing, and this bathroom was insane. Like, not all the bathrooms are like this, but for whatever reason, this one has like infinity mirrors on the inside, and I just thought it was incredible. So it is my third week at school, and I just wanted to show you guys where I go to school. I go to school in the La Defense area, which is super famous for the arch behind me, and it's a very international area. There's a lot of businesses, companies, schools. They're also doing construction, so I think they're expanding. So there's a lot of things here, including a mall and like a huge grocery store as well. So it's really, really convenient, and I think a really nice area to go to school as well. And I just wanted to film a little bit while it's sunny, because I think it's starting to feel a lot like fall and winter already out here, and I feel like the sun is like slowly going to be a rare sight to see here in Paris. But school, the arch is really cool. Like, every time I see it for school, it's incredible. And what's really nice as well is that there's a huge mall, a Westfield mall, and a really, really big grocery store called Auchon. Probably not pronouncing that right, but it makes it really convenient, so I can go grocery shopping and find pretty much anything at this grocery store, and then I can also shop, like, it's an entire mall inside as well, so pretty much anything and everything that you could possibly need, you can find it here on this side. So it does make it super, super convenient, and even more so, it's just a fun place to go to school, I think, and I feel really lucky. So here is La Defense, and just a quick snippet of my day in life at school. So, say hello, friends! Hello! So today we're going on a little class field trip, going around to a bunch of perfume boutiques in the center of Paris. I'm really, really excited. This is my outfit. A little business casual chic, I think. And it's a beautiful day in Paris. Look at the weather. It's so sunny. So I'm really, really excited, but walking heels is a bold move because I cannot walk nearly as fast in these shoes. So going to think twice before wearing heels this time. Delicious. Seems like.
So you can see you have perfume. Avec plaisir, j'ai mis un mail.
The Perfume excursion was a lot of fun, but it definitely was a lot of walking, a lot of running around, a lot of hopping around, and wearing heels was definitely not the move. I should not have done that. But it was really fun to visit a bunch of perfume boutiques, and after all, Paris is the icon of perfume. So at the end of the day, I decided to walk towards the Louvre, just enjoy the rest of the sunshine, and it was a beautiful day.
I can't believe I carried that all from La Defense to the apartment, and I'm sweating, but it was worth it. So this is my 4th week in Paris, and I discovered that there's an Auchon by my school in La Defense. So I really like to go there because they have everything and anything that you could want food-wise, and I discovered on the 2nd floor it has everything and anything for home. Basically, it's like a Walmart and a Costco had a baby, but it's not like Costco in the sense where things are not necessarily in bulk, but it has like anything and everything, kind of like a Costco or a Walmart. So today I'm going to show you what I bought. I spent about 100 euros, which was a lot more than I had planned on spending, because also instead of carrying everything like I usually do throughout the store while I shop, I had a basket that rolls, and that is such a trap because then you end up putting all these things in your basket, not thinking about how heavy it's going to be to carry it home. So rookie mistake, I'm not doing that again. I'm going to make sure that whatever bag I bring to shop with is what I use to put all the things that I'm about to buy, because I put so much, I didn't even realize how much stuff I had in my basket or how heavy it was until I was checking out, trying to lift up the bag, and it was so heavy. So this is what I bought at Auchon, and again, I spent about 100 euros, which I wasn't planning on spending that much, but I did try to buy things so that I can cook throughout the week, and I bought some essential things for the apartment as well. So first things first, I got a baguette, and it's not the traditional baguette. It's definitely a cheap baguette, but I really like it, and it lasts me a few days. It does start to get hard, but it's only 50 cents. It's only 50 cents, so like you can't go wrong with a baguette. And I do like having a little bit of bread with dinner every night, so baguette. For my protein this week, I got some salmon because I really love having fish. And then I got a few steaks that I'm going to freeze and eat throughout the week. I got some tofu as my other source of protein for the week, which is really easy and keeps well. I got some eggs. They're really beautiful, and I managed to not break them. On the way home. I managed to not break them on the commute home. So got some eggs because I want to do some baking, and I just think it would be nice to have some eggs in the morning. They're so beautiful. Oh my gosh. For lunch today, I didn't feel like cooking, so I got this ready-made meal, which is just chicken, like some fried spring rolls, noodles, and it has like a really good sauce inside. So for just a takeaway meal, it's fine. I actually really don't mind it. It's something that I would eat at school as well if I'm in a hurry or didn't pack a lunch. I'm really excited about these. So they look like egg tarts, but the crust, the dough is a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I think they're gonna taste like egg tarts. So I can't wait to try these because they look really good. So what was heavy, and that I probably won't get at Auchon again because I can get it closer to my apartment, is flour and long grain rice. But again, I wanted to do some baking and I saw it there and I was like, oh, I'll just get some flour. But I'm not gonna do that again because it's really heavy to bring back this flour. And then I also got rice because I already went through about half of this size of rice already for the week. So I just wanted to stock up with some rice. This bacon, ricotta, mozzarella, ravioli, which I think looks really good and I can eat for lunch. So just a quick meal. I think it looks pretty good. And then I got some butter, also for baking. I couldn't figure out unsalted. I think it's unsalted. It says demi-sel, so maybe that means lightly salted. But this is what I got to bake with. We'll try it out. And then I actually haven't bought any cheese at the grocery store since I've gone here. So I got some Camante. I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that right either. Okay, so I also got a pillow, another pillow, because I only have one currently. And then I got a pillowcase, which the pillowcase is actually more than the pillow. The pillowcase was like 10 euros and I think the pillow was like 8 or 9, but maybe it's because this is cotton. I didn't want to get the synthetic one, so I got the cotton pillowcase. I also got some strawberry tea, or like strawberry tea blend. I got this tin to bake in. I think it'll be good for making like focaccia bread, banana bread, brownies like in the picture. So I really can't wait to bake. So hopefully I can use this a lot. And then the thing that I'm most excited for that I got is this rice cooker. It's really small, but I think it'll do the trick. It was the cheapest one and it was a pain to carry back on the metro, but I think it's worth it because I really can't wait to cook rice in a rice cooker. It's just, I made it too wet when I did it on the pot the first time, so I'm so excited to have a proper rice cooker.
It's kimchi, I think. Is it kimchi? No.
Come lo mangio poi dall'altra parte? Let me see. Hey! She's a quick.
So after the first couple weeks of being at school, we had International Student Day hosted by my school, and they organized a mystery game for us. I thought it was just going to be like a very simple excursion or maybe scavenger hunt, and as it turned out, it was like an over 2-hour mystery game through the Paris passageways, which in theory was very cool, but again, it was a lot of walking. It was way longer than I think a lot of us had planned for in our minds, a ton of walking, and we were lost most of the time. But it was fun, and I'm glad that I went to see a bunch of the Paris passageways because they are very cool and each one is different, so it was worth a visit overall. So the big day has arrived, and to kick off Paris Fashion Week, Jacquemus announced the opening of his new store. So naturally I had to go, and I brought some friends along with me. We ended up standing in line for 3 hours, so it was a lot longer than we had planned on. And in the end, it was just Alexienne and I who had stayed out in the cold and rain to make it into the store. Of course, we got our little free containers of popcorn, which surprisingly enough, the popcorn was very delicious. I don't know if it was because I was just starving in line or if it was actually just really good popcorn, but either way, 10 out of 10 Jacquemus popcorn. The store is really beautiful, and in the end, I did get something that I'm just so excited about.
Because you will never.
Yeah, you will never finish that. But you can take a doggy bag. Yes.
So I got the beautiful images book at the Jacquemus store opening, and for 40 euros, honestly, I think it's like a steal because it's so beautiful. It's hardcover and it's really, really just incredibly dense with so many images from Jacquemus's phone. Simon Jacquemus's phone. And oh my gosh, I just could sit here all afternoon looking at the images. So I'm really happy with this purchase, and it just looks so beautiful on my apartment room floors as well. So it is Wednesday afternoon, and I definitely slept in really late because we stood in line for 3 hours at the Jacquemus store opening, and it was raining, and I definitely regret not wearing a coat or bringing gloves. And even though I have no regrets, and it was so fun, and I love the book that I got at the boutique, I'm just trying and fighting tooth and nail to not get sick, because definitely people are starting to get sick in my class and just around because it's getting quite cold now, or at least cold to me because I'm not used to anything colder than 65 degrees. So this afternoon I'm going to make lunch and then just do some research to figure out where the other shows are, if there's public facing events, where the viewings might be. And it feels so surreal to be here in Paris during Paris Fashion Week. Like, I can't believe it. So I'm just really excited, a bit overwhelmed at the thought of it all, like trying to go and stake out all these different fashion shows. But I have a classmate who's equally as crazy about fashion as I am, and I think a lot of my friends are as well here in Paris, so it'll be fun to go with some friends to try to stake out some shows. But like I said, I definitely have to dress warmer because it was very cold the other day, and for the rest of the week I also need to be working on some of my group projects for school, so can't all be standing out running around for fashion shows. I also have to be responsible and do some of my schoolwork. But yeah, it is now the last week of September, and I'm approaching my 1 month anniversary in Paris. I can't believe it. In a way, it feels like it's been a long time settling here and like just living here, because I feel like everything happens at once and really fast. But on the other hand, it feels like I haven't been here for that long at all. So it's a really weird feeling. But luckily, a lot of my friends have been sending me videos on this app called Marco Polo. And so it's been really easy and fun actually to keep in touch with everyone. So I don't feel like I'm left out of the loop at all back in LA. But yeah, Paris Fashion Week. I can't believe I'm here for it. And even though I'm not formally invited or anything like that to events or anything, I think it's such a cultural phenomenon and a huge community aspect, just for anyone into fashion, because fashion is for everyone. So I'm just excited to take a little sneak peek, to stake out, to discover everything that Paris Fashion Week has to offer. So stay tuned. So it is Thursday around 6:30, and the most exciting thing happened. My landlord knocked on my door this morning and handed me my bank card that came in the mail that I've been waiting for weeks. And this past week or so, a couple of days ago, I literally walked to the bank went there again to be like, hey, I haven't received my bank card. I was told it was only going to take a week. It's been like weeks now, and sure enough, they finally sent it. So in order to activate my card and get it all set up, there are a few things that I had to do online, and then you have to make a first withdrawal at an ATM. So I feel like this is the first time I've been out in 2 days because it's been so cold and rainy, and even though it's Paris Fashion Week, man, I didn't think rain and cold would get me in between me and fashion, myself and fashion, but oh my god, it was so cold on Tuesday waiting for the Jacquemus boutique that I just like couldn't envision standing outside in line to do more shows potentially. But tomorrow's supposed to be really nice weather, so I'm optimistic that I'll be able to be more out and about on Friday. But the big celebratory moment is that I have my bank card. And my bank card is what was keeping me from doing things like getting health insurance, opening my own utilities, just in general, even though I have a visa, the bank card, so it really makes official that you're a resident in France, that you're legally, fiscally, like, legitimate in France. So it's a huge deal, and I'm going to bake some banana bread to celebrate. And also I just want to be inside because the cold is no joke, and this is cold for me, and I know that it's not even full-fledged winter yet, so I really got to brace myself. But yeah, the bank card is a huge thing to celebrate, and I am just so thrilled that it's done. So I was just about to do some baking, and all the cats have come out. I feel like it's just like a ritual to make banana bread whenever I move into a new place. So of course I made banana bread for the first thing to bake in my Paris apartment. It took a little bit of researching to figure out how to even work the oven, but in the end I think my banana bread turned out pretty amazing, if I don't say so myself, so I'm very happy with it. So once the weather cleared up later in the week, I did venture out to see some fashion shows. This is outside of Loewe, and then my friend and I hopped around and we went to stand outside of the Giambattista Valley fashion show. It was really fun and exciting to even just stand outside and see if you could spot some influencer, celebrity. It was just really like a whole buzz, a whole moment to partake in Fashion Week, even though of course we didn't go inside. It was just kind of fun just to be a part of it for a moment. And so these last few days are basically wrapping up the month of September. I ventured out onto my balcony. I went to the Garden of Plants with some friends, and it was such a beautiful day. I feel like the weather has just been so much nicer since Paris Fashion Week, honestly. And we ventured through Montmartre. And at this point, I'm feeling quite settled with my life here in Paris. I'm feeling a lot more at peace with everything. I just feel so lucky that I have so many friends,
so early on in my journey here, and I definitely couldn't have done it without the support and love of my friends and family. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this first vlog.